Hey guys, Ryu here, welcome back, and in this video we're gonna be cleaning this mesh, checking everything is fine, and maybe adding some final touches, you know, like tiny elements, tertiary details here and there, and just to fill the void if we find something. But we got some stuff to take care of, like here. I'm not sure why this mirror is mirroring so in such a weird way. Let me see that. Put it under the bevel. There we go. It's the order of modifiers is so important. You see this issue here. It's just simply not beveling before the mirror. Boom, fixed. So this is what we need to do before we actually, you know, start texturing this and trying to render it. I think render is going to be quite interesting. Most of the elements are in the collection, which is not really great. We need to group them up a bit. So let's turn off rotors, and I think I'm going to place this one in the same category. So I'm just gonna deselect this, the whole thing, and you know, in fact we could just place it in the back rotor. So new collection, back rotor, or rear. I think it should be a rear rotor. There we go. And turn it off. And let's just drop these as well. Okay, and this is gonna be front. Cool. And let's put them together. Okay. And then we're gonna have the gun. So we can select this and Shift G and immediate children and select this one. New collection, gun. Move it to gun and turn it off. PG. And then we're gonna have this main body. I think I'm just gonna keep it as one. To be honest, this is fine. So we need to see what these are all about, and we need to move them to collection. So collection. And there you go. Now cars can go on the bottom because we're not gonna be using them anymore. Let me just collapse this one. There you go. And move it here in the bottom, right? Cool, so we're gonna check, you know, one by one. The way I do it usually is I select an item and I just go to local view and I just inspect it, you know, if everything is fine. We're not gonna be applying modifiers, we don't have to do that really, but we need to check if everything is fine. Like for instance, here you see that there is a shading problem here because the faces are bent, okay? So what we can do is select this face, right? We can set a custom orientation again. We can select all these faces, go to side view as Z, 0, and 0 them out, and then everything is PG. So, and then, you know, you can check for all the shading issues, everything is fine. If it's fine, and we're going to press H to hide it, right? And then we're gonna grab these, and let's see if everything is fine. Everything looks good. Our mirror should be above weighted normals, so we're gonna put it in here, H. Let's see here. There's some problem here with this line here. See that? Now this issue here is caused by the mirror. So if I move, for example, this up a little bit, you can see that it's still there. So I'm gonna remove the mirror first, and let's see what's happening here. GG, move this a little bit up, okay. And then we're gonna have to mirror that, but I'm probably gonna be symmetrizing it. So let's grab a mesh. And by the way, where is the origin point? Origin point is here on the bottom. Okay, so let's grab this mesh and symmetrize it. And we need to find the correct axis, which is not Z, which is not this one. There we go. It's on the plus X to minus X. It's much more easy with hard ups because it's more intuitive. So we don't need a mirror here, symmetrize, we'll do H to hide it. These two, we don't really worry about them, they're just floaters. This one should be fine. Let's just collapse this one, yeah, that's fine. We don't have any issues here, hide it. The nose, so let's just try check it out. I was thinking that, you know, the front here, what you could do is select these two, make sure in global orientation and in the individual origins, and you can scale them in a bit like that, and SX, and scale them on X. When you scale them a bit, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna taper them in, and the readability is going to be a bit different. You can also do it differently, because you can see even if you scale them, they're not going to scale proportionally on all edges. You know, you can see that they scale here on kind of a z-axis, but not on x. What you can do is you can inset them like this. So press I to inset them, okay? Then you can Control plus to increase the selection. Then you can go here to select and loops and select boundary loops, which will select these loops outside, okay? And then press X and dissolve them. And what it will do, it will dissolve the edges, the loop outside, and will connect to the loop inside. And now you can see it's perfectly tapered in. You see on all edges is equal. Now what it will do, it will simply read stronger, because now the because of the taper, you got these shadows here, right? You see that? And it just reads like a stronger shape. So if I go back, right, to here, you see what I mean? It's just a stronger shape. So one more time, let's select this outer loop here, and simply dissolve edges. Boom, right? And it's a perfect taper. Now let's check the rest of this shape here is fine, no problem, and we can, you know, hide it. So grab that and H. Now let's grab these to local and see if everything is peachy. Everything looks great. We probably need to add something here in the bottom, just to make it a little bit less boring. Now there is not a problem here. You can see there is a bent angle here. If you look on the side, you can see that it's just twisted. So what we can do is grab these faces, okay? Except for these, because this one is connected to a bevel. If you're gonna grab all of them, it's gonna be a mess. So again, we're gonna use this custom orientation here, right? SZ0, and this is gonna fix our issue, more or less. It should be fine now. There you go. Now the side we have to fix here as well. So we need to grab this, and this one is different because, let me see that. No, it's the same, SZ0. So let's fix this as well. That's good. You can see that now these edges are not being caught by the bevel, which is a bit of a problem. So we're gonna have to work on that. In addition, we get some overlap problem here. So that one's easy to fix. Let's go to global orientation here. And let's select all these verts right here. So the ones in the middle, okay? And then we're going to align them on the x-axis SX0 and 0 them out. And then we can simply apply the mirror. So let's go here and apply this mirror, right? And now here we're gonna have to clean this thing because it's a bloody mess. So let me see that what's going on here. Let's press 3 to clean it. That didn't work, okay? Let's combine them, Shift 1. Shift 1, there's overlap, you seen this? Shift 1 and Shift 1, and that's fixed. And then we can select that and dissolve edges. That didn't work. Let's just delete this edge. Some kind of a terrible mess in here, guys. Let's just delete all these edges. And then merge this, there we go. Then let's select this one and right click and loop tools and bridge. And there you go, that's fixed, okay? Cool, now the bevels here. And this is an angle problem, so we can either try if the angle's gonna work, but this is really shallow. So I don't know, 25 maybe, or 24. 24 works. Let's see if, you know, we don't have any other problems. Yes, we do. This here is way too close, so GG and move it down a bit. There you go. And we can do the same thing on the other side, or you can symmetrize this if you want to. But it's just easier to move it, GG, and move it down. There you go. It's simply bevel overshooting over there. Other than that, we good, so we can just hide it. And then this one should be fine. We could apply these booleans, you know, just apply them. It's no problem. It's a nice clean connection, so through the middle, everything is good. What we could do is connect these to fix the shading on this bevel a little bit. Because when you have too many edges or, you know, verts in the middle of a curve, it might change the way the curve looks, the shading. So That's good. So, let's go back and hide it. Let's grab the first shell and see that. I would keep all the modifiers live here. I would not even bother with this. The shading looks really nice. If you really want to see the shading, you can go to Modcap and turn on one of these. These are really, unforgiving. So it's really easy to see any kind of distortions on your mesh. This looks clean to me, so it's fine. So let's turn it off. So I would just literally leave it like that, because we're not gonna be texturing this in outside Blender, so we're good. That's perfect. You could apply everything, but if you wanted to apply, for example, booleans, you would need to apply solidification, which is something I don't want to do. What you could do here, for example, is run rim only, which will remove the inner part. But if you do that, you're gonna introduce a bit of a havoc to your mesh because of booleans. So you would need to clean this up a bit, because remember, we do have a subdivision going on here, okay? So let's just collapse them, and we're good to go. H. This one here, let's go to local, and let's see that. That looks clean too. I don't see any problems. Now, if you want to make it a bit more smooth, just simply go to subdivision and increase the level of subdivision by 1, and you can see that it's going to improve. You can either do it in here, or you can do it in render. So you could just keep, for example, 1 or 2 in viewport and increase to 3 in render. So it's up to you. If you have a powerful machine, it doesn't matter. You can just pump it up. It looks clean, really clean, so I'm fine with that. Okay, H to hide it. And the last one here. Now you don't really need weighted normals with sub D, because you would need to enable auto smooth, which is disabled because we're using subdivision. So we're not gonna be touching that. Everything is clean here. Corners look clean. Again, you could just increase the level of subdivision if you want to. So you can increase it to 3 and make it smoother. Just check if it doesn't cause any problems, yeah. And H to hide it, we good. Now let's grab all these elements and check them. They look fine. Now here there's a classic example of bevel overshooting, okay, you've seen this. So if I go to bevel and reduce this a little bit, you see what I mean. See that? Look. If you see the line in the middle, that's a bevel overshooting on itself, which means the bevel on both sides is too thick, okay? So what we're gonna do is reduce it to, something like, I don't know, this value, okay? So 0.009, and this should be fine. Okay, there is no sub D here, so we do need weighted normals, and everything is peachy, so let's just hide it. And then let's just apply the same amount of bevel here, so 0.9 is gonna fix the shading. So here bevel, let's fix it to 0.09. Select all these because they have any cuts or anything really. So we can select all these with Shift. The last one here, Control C and copy modifiers. It's gonna fix all of them at the same time, okay? And they all look, good to me, so just H to hide them. These two should be fine, just check if the bevel isn't too thick. If you wanna make them more smooth, just add subdivision, but quite frankly, they're so small, it doesn't matter. You can hide them. This shell here, also the bevel needs to be made smaller, so copy the same size of bevel, so 0.009, so it's not going to overshoot on itself. Cool. So this one doesn't have subdivision going on, so it looks clean in terms of shading, so we don't have to worry about subdivision really, which means we need weighted normals and auto smooth, so just hide it. This one we removed subdivision, that was completely unnecessary, so we're going to keep only weighted normals and bevel. There's some boolean here, but it's already applied. Let's look in the back. Everything looks clean. Check if the bevel is not overshooting. Looks okay. Perfect. So hide it. These two elements on the top, they're fine. And so hide them. These two, you know, they peachy. And then let's see these. These are fine. I don't think they have a bevel. They do have a bevel, but it's a little bit small. Also, mirror should be above weighted normals. And bevel should be a little bit bigger. There we go. That's better. Cool. Hide them. This one, let's see that. Mirror needs to be above weighted normals. That's one. Then we got a bevel problem in general, and it's caused by scale issue. So you see, when I'm going to try to bevel this, it just, you know, doesn't work. So control, let's go to object mode, select everything, control A, apply scale, and this will cause a bit of an issue with the bevel, of course, because the scale of the object is different. So let's just, you know, lower it down. But what we're going to do is we're going to select all these edges here around, okay, and here, right, on the other side, and here. Let me see if I have everything. No, I don't. So select these, all of them here, around. There we go. And the same thing in the bottom, but we can do it later. So what I want to do is chamfer this a little bit. Just a little bit, you know, like that. So they're going to give a little bit of a lip here. And just make sure that you selected all the edges, because later on it's going to be an absolute bastard to fix it without mesh machine. Maybe a bit wider like this. It's going to just, you know, create a bit of a lip around this. And maybe we can lower the bevel a bit, you know, so just hold shift and make this bevel a little bit smaller so the lip reads a bit better. So now here we can select this one and Control C, copy modifiers. Select this one and remove the mirror because we don't need it. And we're going to do the same thing, so select these edges here and here. And here. And shift, control click, and yeah, by the way, I forgot to, I don't have my screencast keys in it, but I'm sorry guys, forgot about that. So now here, you know, the same thing, just check if everything is selected and control B, and that's the best way to check it. Good, it's selected. So control B, just chamfer this a little bit, and you know, this bevel is fine. So we got, you know, this fit on the top and on the bottom, everything is peachy. So select them both on H, and this is basically Alt H to unhide it. This is basically our main shell fixed and checked. Everything is, you know, everything is perfect. We have no shading issues. We are good to go. And then we're gonna check the front rotors. So same method, guys. So that's perfectly fine. We're not gonna be cutting this. There's no point. You could always increase the subdivision if you wanted to, you know, 3 to make it smoother, but quite frankly, it doesn't really make any difference. So it's perfectly fine. H. These ones could be a little bit closer inside of the mesh, you know, just a bit deeper in. And bevel maybe could be a bit smaller. Okay, a little bit. And that's that. Let me see if we have a mirror should be here under the bevel. So bevel first and then mirrors. Subdivision should be above the mirror as well. So that's better. We can hide them. Let's grab these. Now these are subdivided as well. The mirror should be going under everything. So that's good. Perfect. Hide it. These are fine. You could increase subdivision here to 2. It's gonna be smoother. And the mirror should be under the subdivision basically. So that's perfectly fine. And here we're good to go. Now you see there is a bit of a problem here with the subdivision. Let me see that. These elements here, we got a clear problem with the bevel. The bevel is overshooting, I think. So we can lower it down. That's the first thing we need to do. let me just turn this off for a sec. There we go. Now this is caused by these corners, and what we can do here is select them with Alt and Shift. So we're gonna select the whole loop around, okay? It goes all the way around. If I turn up the bevel, you will see that, right? And then what I'm gonna do is Control B, hold Shift, and I'm gonna chamfer them to create a better transition here. You see that it fixed the problem here. The quads are too big basically, so we need to introduce, slightly more subdivided geometry. So do something like that. And this basically gonna fix our problem, you see. We also need to check if we have auto smooth disabled. That's good. And everything is peachy. And we could increase subdivision to like 2, which is gonna make it really smooth. You see, it's basically perfect now. So if you really want to fiddle with this, you could just select this edge here, this one, and you could move it a bit out, GG, and move it a bit here, and select this one here, and GG, and move it a bit here, okay? And same with this, GG, just relax them a bit, okay? And here, GG, and then move it here, and this is going to create a way better arc here, you see? So there you go. And we got these. So now the only problem here with this one is that with the introduction of these, our subdivision is, it's a little bit angular. So what we can do is grab these instead, okay, and simply bevel them. So let's just remove this one as well. So select this one, select these, okay, and with Alt and Alt Shift, Control B them, and simply, divide them like this. And this is gonna smooth it out, right? So let's go back here, and then let's make sure we're rotating on cursor, and then Shift DR, hold Control ZZ, and move it somewhere here, Shift DR ZZ, and move it somewhere, I don't know, somewhere here. And that's more or less RZZ, and boom, right? So there you go. Let's check this one here very quickly. Let's grab this to local. Let's just look around. We have a bool going on in here. We can apply this, everything is clean. H, let's grab this one. That one looks good. We could do the same thing here, so apply the booleans, right? Let's create better connections, okay? So press K, and let's just connect it like this, okay? And K, and let's connect it like this. Or even better, we could connect it across here. So connect these, okay, with J, and then press K and connect them like this, right? It's one. And then same here, J, and then K, and connect them like this. And then let's make sure that this is merged. These two and these two can go. We don't really need this one. And we don't need this one, right? One more time. So click here and then Control click around. Click here and then Control click around. And the other side, Shift click and Control click around. Shift click and Control click around. In Control B, hold Shift, there we go. Nice, that's much better. And we're gonna reduce the bevel a bit because it's crazy. So maybe something like 0.4. Yeah, that's much more manageable. I like that. Awesome. This one doesn't get beveled, so chamfered. So we can, just run a bevel here like this very quickly. Besides, this goes into the mesh anyway, so we can't see that. H to hide it. These two have no modifiers on, so we need to add some bevel. And 3 segments. And you want to change it to arc. And weighted normals. It's an exceptionally tedious process with Vanilla Blender, but you know, nothing you can do about it. Ctrl+C, copy modifiers and hide them. Here, did we edit weighted normals? We did, right? Wait a minute, one more time, Ctrl+C, copy modifiers, there we go. This bevel here, I think it's overshooting. Yeah, it's overshooting. Let's just change it to something a bit more civil. There we go. Maybe 0.3. 0.2. Yeah, something like that. Copy the modifiers again. Fixed. H. Okay, this one looks fine. So H. This one again here. I mean, we could increase subdivision to 2, no problem. H. These are plugged by the same problem. Delete these two. Grab this one. Disable it in edit mode and just select these two. In fact, the solidification is not applied, which is a problem. So let's apply that. There we go, that's better. Select these two with Shift and Alt and Control B. Scroll down and this should fix it. And let me see that. Bevel is, I think, too big. There we go. Now we got some problem here, and I think that's auto smooth. There we go. This is an issue here, which is interesting. So we could, let me see that. We could turn the sub D on, which wasn't on, and that's fine. These two should be connected here with J. Select these loops here and Control B, and you know, split them a little bit so they're gonna smooth out. Select this ring here, Shift S to select it, and then RZZ, and Shift D RZZ, hold Control, and rotate it in here. Shift D RZZ, and you know, boom, right? RZZ. There you go. More or less, and hide them and increase sub D here by 1 and hide it. Alt H and rotors. Backup can go underneath cutters. Make sure cutters are off in render. And the gun. So this is the last one. This one was modeled, but we were in applying any bevels, I think. So yeah, no bevels here, so we need to fix that. So let's apply a bevel. And let's go to above that, 3 segments, geometry, arc, and this is way too big, so make it smaller. You can see that it's overshooting here. Make it, you know, 0.2 or something. There we go. 0.2 will do. We have weighted normals running, so we should be fine. I think. No, we don't. So let's collapse this stack, and there's a sheeting problem. You can see there's like bloated. So we're gonna add weighted normals. It's gonna fix the problem. Boom. And H to hide it. And here, in fact, let me see that. Solidify, bolt tool, mirror, right. Well, we could apply this, you know, it's gonna be easier. Alt H for a second, select this one, Shift select this one, Control C and copy modifiers, which we're gonna copy the bevel and weighted normals around the mirror as well, so it's good. Here there's a mirror, so simply Control C, copy modifiers. The mirror disappeared, but it's okay. We mirror this across the empty. Good. These two, Control C, copy modifiers. And the bevel is here. Shade smooth and auto smooth. And here too. Shade smooth, and then let's increase the bevel a bit. Let's change this to arc. Yeah, that's it. Let's apply the scale. I think it's a scale issue. There we go. And here to apply scale and Control C, copy modifiers. It's maybe a bit too soft. I mean, you know, it could be a little bit less soft. Yeah, there we go. And not scale, copy modifiers. Control C, copy modifiers, there we go. This one probably apply scale, and you know, we could copy this as well. So copy modifiers, there we go. Same here, apply scale and Control C, copy modifiers, boom. Same thing, apply scale and copy modifiers. This one is modifiers on. This one is modifiers on. Everything is peachy, I think. Now let's just see if there's no shading problems. This one is fine. H. These two are fine. This one is some overshooting here. You can see that. And because the bevel is simply too big, let's make it maybe 3 or maybe even 2. Yeah, that will do. It's quite soft, really. I mean, 1 will do probably. There we go. Apply scale. Yeah. Maybe that's too big. There we go. The one in the middle doesn't really need a bevel. I mean, this is going to increase the geo by a ton. I don't really think you need a bevel here. So, you know, you don't even need to wear it normal. So I'll just leave it as such. That's it. You know, you don't need anything over there. And other than that, I think we're good. So let's just check this one. Yeah, it's fine. So there you go. Alt H, and we can turn everything on. And that's our mesh checked, guys. Okay, so everything is checked, everything is peachy, everything is perfect. Okay, and now what we need to do is in the last video, we need to finalize the details. So if you want to add some details to it, like final touches, you know, something here, something there, this is the best time to do it. And we're done. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.